It's Peggy Noe from prettypapercards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today with my little Yorkshire Terrier, Ellie. She has a fun bow on today. I just got her a new kind of looped bow, and her hair is just going all over the place. And I'm letting her bangs grow long, so she is a little bit fluffy, I would say. How are you today? How is everything going for you on this warm summer Friday afternoon? I hope you're doing well. It's pretty warm here in San Diego County, and I'm assuming it's warm where you are. I have a lot of fun for us today. We're going to make a bag. We're going to make a peach bag, and let me see. Okay, I've got us going there, and I know we're live, so we are going to make a darling peach bag using the You're a Peach suite from our new annual catalog. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. I don't want to take too much time in the beginning because I have a lot to show you. But a couple of announcements. The mini catalog, the January to June mini catalog, I've been talking about this, is retiring on June 30th, which is about a week and a half. And you want to make sure to get anything you want. I thought I'd look real quick to see what is still available at 50% off. So the ladybug trinkets are 50% off. The flamingo dies are 50% off. And the fluttering dies, and I actually have them right here to show you. They're butterflies. These are the fluttering dies. 50% off, and so the total is $17.50 until June 30th. They're on page 61 of the mini catalog, so I wanted you to see what was still available. I mean, 50% off is a lot, right? And I don't want you to miss that great value. The other thing is my class to go. Today is the last day, evening, to register, pre-order actually, for my class to go, my June class to go. We will be using, if you take the class, the Quiet Meadow bundle. And along with the bundle, you're gonna get an embossing folder, you'll get in-color jewels, and shipping is included. You can buy either the stamp set or the full bundle. You'll get everything with just the stamp set and all the ingredients to make 5 cards, 5 beautiful cards, and one is kind of a fancy fold. So two designs and one a fancy fold card. If you just choose the stamp set, it's $45, and that includes the shipping. If you want the bundle, it's $75, including shipping. So email me, Peggy at prettypapercards.com by tonight, which is June 18th, 2021. Or email me. You can leave me a message down below here too. Direct message me or leave a comment, because I don't want you to miss out on it. It's such a beautiful bundle. I love it, and that's why I always bring you classes using bundles and stamp sets that I absolutely love. So, okay, that's all of our announcements. And now we're going to look at what we're going to make today. So let me put Ellie down. I wanted to leave plenty of time for you to... Kathy, hello. Yes, I agree. They didn't carry over. Kay, good to see you. And Diane. Okay, so let me switch here so that you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to show you today's project. And you know I love the Peach Suite, the You're a Peach Suite. So here is today's project. It's a darling little gift bag with a jar, one of the little mini jars full of some goodies. Now I can't give you the goodies, but I can show them to you. So this is the jars that come. They're plastic with a little light metal tin top. I don't know if it's tin. I don't really know what tin is, but you wouldn't believe it, but I had a friend come by today and bring me, look at this, gummy peach ring candy. Oh my gosh, it's totally delicious. And guess what? It fits perfectly inside this adorable little jar. Look at that. Look at those peach rings, and they're good. Very delicious. They taste just like peaches. I'm actually not going to show you how to make that. I mean, that's just what I'm putting inside of my bag, but we are going to learn how to make this adorable bag using the, I think it's the Eura Peach Designer Series paper, which I love. And I'm going to show you the pattern for the bag and exactly how to do it. And I just suggest that you might use one of these adorable little jars and have them poke out at the top like that. Isn't that just a cute gift? I thought so too. Now I want to show you in the catalog where this is. So the Peach Suite, Eura Peach Suite, is right here on page 60 and 61 of the annual catalog, the 2021-2022 annual catalog. And there's the stamp set, and you can see what they've done with the little jars. They're not for canning. I want you to know that. They aren't for actual heat canning. You can put candies and stuff in there, but you really don't heat them. And then here are some other pretty projects. Now you might notice that I also used an additional die on this project, and it's one of these beautiful encircled dies. Let me get the exact name for you. Encircled in Beauty dies, and you can see them here. They're on page 70, and they come with a stamp set. Now I did not get this stamp set, but I'm going to show them to you. Oops, sorry, I dropped that on the floor. Okay, here are the Encircled in Beauty dies, and I just love them. I use this one. There's another one that sits in there, and I think I left it over on my craft table. But these are the dies, and I'm going to be using a lot more of them. This is the first time I've actually even used them. And then here is the Peach Bundle, the Sweet as a Peach stamp set that we're going to be using today, and the dies, and the paper, the beautiful Eura Peach paper. So now you know exactly what we're going to be doing. And I'm going to show you first of all how to make the bag. And what you need is 2 pieces of matching, or if you don't want to do it matching, that's up to you, but I'll show you how it works. Designer Series paper. Now it really, you could do it with a 8.5 by 11 piece, but our Designer Series paper comes in 12 by 12. So, and I actually think that the cardstock would be too heavy. So I've got my paper trimmer here, and I'm going to pull out the arm because we're going to cut 1 piece from each sheet, and the pieces are going to be 8 inches by 8 inches. So we're going to scooch this over here so I can see my 8 inches right here. And I'm going to cut, I have a small space here, and I want to get it just right. So we're going to cut up at 8 and then turn it sideways. So we're going to end up with an 8-inch square if you're taking notes. And you might want to take notes if you want to replicate this. For my YouTube video, I will put the measurements down below. So here's my second piece of 12 by 12 Designer Series paper, cut at 8 and 8. So that's what it takes to make the bag. 2 8 by 8 inch pieces of the same Designer Series paper. Now we're going to do some scoring. So I'm going to push my cutting blade up, and I'm going to get my scoring blade ready to go. That's the light gray one. Okay, Diane, great. I will email you as soon as we're done. Thank you for wanting to order my class. Okay, so we've got our 8-inch by 8-inch 2 pieces. Now we want to look at it and see if you can notice from our sample, this was the same, basically one of the other sheets that had the balmy blue color on it. And I want to make sure to get it, I want to score so that my piece is the direction I want it to be. I want this to be the top, and I want this to be the bottom, because I want my peaches, I don't want my peaches upside down, right? I want my peaches right side up. Maybe nobody would notice, but I would. So what we're going to do is score on 3 sides at 2 inches in, and at the top at 1 inch. So let's just get that top one out of the way. So there's your top, and I'm going to scooch it over because our paper trimmer goes to actually about 1.5 over here on the right side. But there is the 1-inch mark right there. It's very easy to see. And I'm going to score at 1 inch. And that's going to bring that border, it's going to flip over the top border that flips over, so we see that pretty pattern. So now we're going to do 2 inches on 3 sides. So be careful not to use the cutting blade and just use the scoring blade. And we have to make sure to get the other 3 sides that have not been scored previously. And those are it's all 2 inches by 2 inches. Excuse me, 2 inches the scoring line on 3 sides and 1 inch on the 4th side. Okay, so there's one piece. Now we're going to do the same thing with our second 8 by 8 inch piece. So 1 inch here. Turn it around, and we're going to do 2 inches here. Two inches here. And I go back and forth a couple times because I want to be able to see the score lines, and with a pattern like this, if you want to make I don't want to score too many times, but a couple times so it's easy to see, right? Okay, so here are our 2 pieces. Let's put the 1-inch score line at the top of both pieces. There we go, and here's our 1-inch score line. So we're just going to start, we're going to go around and just start by folding back at the 1-inch score line. So that is our little flap on our adorable bag. So I'm just going to do those 2 at the same time. So I've got the 1 inch out of the way. And then we're going to fold on all of the 2-inch marks, score lines. Yes, we're going to fold and burnish. And here's another 2-inch mark. Fold and burnish, another 2-inch mark. Okay, that's one piece. Here's our second 8 by 8 piece. Fold and burnish on the 2-inch marks. And over here. Okay, now we've got all of our fold lines in. And now we need to see what we're going to do. One piece of one of our pieces, we're going to cut out a square on the bottom, a 2-inch square and a 2-inch square. So I'm going to get my little paper snips. The other piece you use, I might have to make one cut. I made a lot of these a while ago, and then I've been refreshing myself this afternoon to make sure I know how to do it. So we're just going to cut out the 2 squares on one sheet only on the lower left side. Okay, great. Now for the other one, again, keeping our border, our 1-inch border up at the top, all we're going to do here is cut in to the 2-inch line on 2 sides. Yes. You'll forgive me if I make a mistake, but I think this is right. I'm trying to see that line. Okay, there it is. Like I told you, it's a little bit hard with the bright pattern. And cut in. Again, on the bottom, we're not going to cut it off, but we're just going to cut it in. Okay, now we're ready to assemble. One thing I'm going to do is press this really better. And now we can see that this is how our bag comes together. This is one side, like this, okay? And here's the other side. Let's burnish, make sure we burnish that really good. And that comes in like this, and like this, and then this part folds up. And those flaps will adhere. The flaps will adhere up like this. Okay, so now we're ready to put it together. And really the best way to put it together is to go at the bottom and slip this piece right in there. That is the best way to do it. And we're going to use glue. This can be put together with other adhesives if you like, but the glue works just fine. Just not too much. It doesn't take an awful lot. And I try to stay about 1/8 of an inch away from, let me pull that off of my glue. Sometimes it dries on the edge. About 1/8 of an inch away from the fold line. And that way it doesn't blurb out. Are you guys with me? You love the peach DSP. I totally do too. Okay, so now we're going to just lay this bottom piece right in there and get it right up to that fold line. And we're just going to press for a minute. And then you can see we're all together. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one side and pull the edge up like that and glue it on. So it really is going to hold the bottom up. And I'm going to set this down and press again because I think I want to make sure that glue dries. So each of the flaps are going to come up. And what they are, in case you're wondering, is these are the flaps from this piece of paper, and they're going to adhere to this piece of paper here. That helps it be strong. So we're just going to press that one up and press this one up. I'll try to do it so you can see it a little better. There we go. Can you see that? So the flap went from down here and it flipped up, and I adhered it to this side. And there we go. So our bottom is very secure now, and it's strong because we have one piece really adhered to the other piece. Lisa, good to see you. How are you doing? And now we're ready to put our sides together. And the sides are going to cover where that flap adhered. So it really is simple. This is really very simple. And I know I learned from another, years ago, there's another YouTube video that teaches you how to make this bag rather, in all different sizes. And I don't think I remember all the other sizes because I just really liked this size. So what I'm going to do is take my bone folder and go inside there where I've glued the side of the bag and just press in there to make sure this side is really adhered. I'm also going to put a tiny bit of glue under the flap, just a little, so that it adheres here too and doesn't, because of that line there where it was cut. That way everything is going to stay down and it won't bother anything. So I'm pressing that, and then we're going to come over and do this flap also. Glue this one on. And you can use any designer series paper you want. It's a wonderful pattern. I really like this bag. And I think it's perfect for things like birthdays and smaller gifts. You know, you can have a pretty made gift, pretty wrapped gift inside, like I did the peach jar. And then you can also put it in a pretty bag. And you can also make a card to match, even a little mini card. I didn't do that today. And now we're going to glue this flap. And then all we have to do is put on our ribbon handles. Okay. There's our little bag. Isn't that cute? I think I like this pattern much better than the other one. Hi, Anthony. Good to see you. So there it is. There's our little bag. Isn't that just super cute? And you really can't tell where anything starts or stops. It's adhered really well. And so now we're going to put on our little handles. You can use a lot of different things for handles, but what I'm going to use, I think this ribbon goes really beautifully with the green in this paper. And this is Old Olive and Pretty Peacock reversible ribbon. Now we don't have Pretty Peacock anymore. That was a former in color, but it it still looks fabulous. I mean, it was a beautiful color. So many people loved it. So all I'm going to do is take a regular hole punch and come in about 3/4 of an inch right in the center. And this is easy to line up because you've got your dots there. So that's kind of handy. I can just line it right up with the dots. Okay, there are 2, and let's do the other side now. And it looks just the same, so it's real easy to line up here. Just like that. Hi Pam, good to see you. Thanks for sharing. I love it when you girls share. I so appreciate it. Get all those little dots out of there. So now we're ready. Now this is going to be the front. We know the front because we can see where the flaps, where we glued the flaps down. I'm going to give them another little press there. And so I'm going to try to keep this to be the front. And what I'm going to do here is cut off some ribbon. And you know me, I like to have a lot. So I just like to have a lot to play with. And what we're going to do, some of you might know better how to do this. I think we could tie it in the middle also. Maybe I'll try that because my other one I tied 2 knots, 1 on each side, and then it makes a little bulky place right there. So let's try tying knots in the middle. Tying the knot in the middle. Okay. And I'm going to try to get the old olive side forward because that's the color that is in the paper. Isn't that pretty? And then so we like it right there. So now we're just going to try to tie a knot right here and hope for the best. Just hope for the best here. I wish there were a way to make it invisible. I bet some of you might even know how that could happen. So now we'll just trim off our little edges, our little tails. There we go, and there's one handle. Doesn't that go really great with that paper? I love it. I love it. So now we're going to cut off another piece of the ribbon and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, remembering to put the old olive side of the ribbon forward so it shows like that. Do you guys make boxes? Excuse me, bags for your gifts? I love to make a handmade bag for my gifts. I think it's, I mean, many times I don't have to, and I end up using, you know, a bag that I got at the Party City or something. But I really do like to give it in a little handmade bag. I think it's just a really nice thing. And that way, if you have something really small, it doesn't have to be a big gift. It just has to be a small gift. But you've made it so pretty with all the beautiful paper and ribbon. Okay, here we go. There we go. There's our adorable bag. Isn't that super cute? I love it. And we can turn it either direction, I think. That's the way I want it to go. Okay, now we're going to decorate the front. You saw me decorating the front. You saw what I did for the other one. So I've already pre-cut this encircled in beauty or encircled in friendship die. I went ahead and did that for us so it would save a little time. But we're actually going to be stamping the peach and the sentiment and everything. So I'm getting out my Stampin' Pierce mat, and we're going to get out our ink. And this color the color in, I don't know what it actually says the color in the paper is, but I found that Flirty Flamingo, no, excuse me, Calypso Coral is the matching color. That's the color you want. So I'm going to get that all inked up. And so you know, this is a distinctive stamp, which means that it has light areas. They're meant to be there. That is part of the distinctive part of it. And now we're going to stamp our leaf. 2 leaves, actually, the 2 peach leaves. Just like this. And then we're going to die cut them. Can you see that? Okay, here's our other little leaf. Okay, and while we're at it, I think we'll just go right ahead and stamp our sentiment. And we're going to use Happy Birthday, and I'm going to stamp it on this little strip using the Calypso Coral ink. And one thing I've discovered is if I stamp as close to the bottom as I can, because this is a bigger piece than I need, it's a wider piece and a longer piece than I need, I want to trim it up. But if I stamp toward the bottom, I can get it much more even. Let's see how it comes out. It did have that little dot on it. I think that's something that got on my stamp. Let's try it again. We'll flip it over and try it again. Sometimes little bits of dust or something get on the stamps. Okay, and let's try it again. Great. I really like the font on this Happy Birthday stamp. I really do. Okay, so we can put our piercing mat away. Let's trim up our Happy Birthday sentiment first. So I'm gonna, because I know what I want to do with it. I want to layer it. I want to double layer it. You saw that on the sample. So I'm going to cut about 1/8 of an inch from the capital letters and the tall letters. Just cut that right across. And it's not going to be a big deal because, as far as people seeing mistakes, because we're going to cut that right in half, just like that. So there's our sentiment ready to go. Here's our little doily thing. And now we're going to get out our mini boss, our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. And let me get the dies. These two dies are, I think, pretty easy to use because you've just got a circle, really basically a circle for the peach, and you can tell the lower end because it has that little, you see that little kind of a, you know, excuse me, but I'm just going to say pokey out thing, a little pokey outy thing. That's how I really talk. But I try not to let anyone know, so don't tell anyone I said that. But that's what I say to myself. And so we've got that lined up, and we're going to get our little leaves lined up here. And then we're just going to cut those little babies and hope they cut perfectly. So in we go. Okay. And let's pull them out. I like this little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's just so handy to have here at my desk, especially when we're doing the live videos. Then you can see everything I'm doing, and I don't have to bring up the big boss. Okay, so here's how it's going to look. We're going to put our leaves in there, and we're going to put Happy Birthday right across this way. This is what's going to decorate our bag. So we're going to get started using our Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to put the peach on first. I think it really only needs, let me pull these over here. It really only needs 2 dimensionals. Because that is, you've arranged your decorations according to where you put your peach. So I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to put the leaves on, and they really only need 1 Stampin' Dimensional right down there at the base. And I can just play with these leaves and put them wherever I want them. I kind of like them right there. And then we've got Happy Birthday. So I'm going to trim that up a little bit. It looks just a tiny bit crooked. And we're going to put our words on again with dimensionals. Happy just needs 1 dimensional. And so we're just going to put it right in there like that. And birthday, I think I'm going to use 2. It's a little bit bigger. Just going to put 2 right next to each other there. And I saw something here. I'm not sure if that looks that side looks completely straight. Do you do this? You know, it looks straight, it doesn't look straight, it looks straight. And we're just going to tuck this one right up in here. Let's see. Let's try it one more time. I want to get it so it aligns with the happy. Okay, there we go. And then we just put this right on the front, again using more Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm just going to use 3. And that is the decoration. Now, you could do all kinds of things. This is just what I've chosen to do with my little peach bag. But isn't that just cute? I really like it. I can't totally show it to you, you know, from a distance really, but you get the idea. And I brought over some confetti stuff to put in my bag. So that's how it's going to look. And if I wanted to put the same candy jar in, I can just tuck it right in there. And I think that looks, whoops, it's coming out. Let me hold it just right. And there are 2 handles. I think I have to pull them up. Okay, isn't that cute? Isn't that just adorable? I'm really excited to give this to someone as a gift. I love making these bags, and I love my peach sweet. I just love everything. Anthony, it is sweet as a peach. Thank you so much. And I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel later tonight, and I'll have all the dimensions for you. I post this exact Facebook Live as a replay, so those of you who are watching on YouTube, some of the announcements that I had are going to be over, so pay attention to that. But I want you to get to see everything we did here on Facebook Live today. So you guys are sweet as a peach. I love that you stop by and see what's going on here on a Friday afternoon, and I know night for Anthony, who's over there in London. If you want my class to go, I know Diane already said something here. If you want my class to go, email me, Peggy, prettypapercards.com, or put a comment down here. But it closes, the pre-order closes tonight, June 18th at midnight. So I can't take any orders after that time, or I won't have enough time to get everything made for you. So let me know, and I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.